Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to discuss about a beautiful perfume from the house of Diptyque, and that is Odoance. Odoance by Olivier Pescheux, the great perfumer that passed away not too long ago and is responsible for a lot of beautiful perfumes in the Diptyque line, like Orpheon for example, and is a master blender. He was an artist in blending all kinds of notes in a way that makes so many contradictions and at the same time make them fuse and project in a beautiful way, and Odoance is one of them. Odoance is basically a white flower perfume. It features notes of neroli, bitter orange, juniper, angelica, and patchouli. But the star ingredients of this perfume is the white flowers, is the neroli, the orange blossom note that you feel all around the perfume in all of its existence. And I suspect that basically the beautiful blend of juniper and angelica and patchouli at the heart notes basically make this perfume hum along in this beautiful, everlasting kind of like spring blossom of white flowers. And I say spring because usually oranges, they blossom around the winter and early spring. It's a winter fruit and not really a summery thing as most of us tend to think, prior to like a lot of Dolce & Gabbana kind of like commercials of lemons and Capri. And the thing is with this perfume that white flowers here are not really feminine, but they can also be very manly. For me, usually white flowers is something that I was avoiding from in many years because I really dislike tuberose, and I always think that sometimes there's a treatment to white flowers like tuberose or jasmine that makes it smell kind of like an old lady, or in my words, like marinated death. And this is a beautiful one because it's blended in such a modern way. It's so sparkly, and yet it has a base that is so gives it a body of elegance and takes it to many directions of being feminine, but at the same time manly, and at the same time very comforting and sparkling and oozing with kind of like joy. There is something very refreshing and very confident about this fragrance. I would say that it projects for a long time, but it's not a beast mode, but it's definitely there. And it makes you feel kind of like a classic cologne, but with a very nice twist of a patchouli, angelica, juniper heart kind of like thing. And I love juniper in fragrances. I think that sometimes juniper can really refresh a fragrance and make it feel like it's like ice cold. And in fact, there's a lot of fragrances in the past years that kind of like use juniper. Hermès Eau Givrée is one of them. And it's a really beautiful one actually that came from Hermès and from Christine Nagel, and that's actually using juniper and citron in a very beautiful way. You can also find juniper in Chanel Edinburgh that kind of like harness the juniper kind of like more, I would say, astringent herbal metallic side of it, along with all the other herbs in it. But here, the juniper gives it kind of like a body. It gives it kind of like almost, even though they're kind of like very much apart, it gives it kind of like a vetiver kind of feel, but it also gives it like a strong body to oomph that neroli for many hours, and makes this perfume stay with the white flower accord, but not too abrasive, you know, not this kind of like old lady thing, not kind of like this makeup bag kind of like thing of the old times. The juniper does it. It gives it kind of like a young vibe, but at the same time a very classic vibe and a very classic body that makes it feel like a very elegant thing that you can use actually for summer and winter. And I do use it at winter every time I need kind of like an uplift, and I think it works beautifully in cold weather. And actually, it's one of the fragrances that get like a lot of compliments. I mean, because it's like so simple and it's at the same time so elegant and so effortless. It feels really like one of those second skin kind of like fragrances that you can find and they become part of you actually. So a person can know you as this person who wears that. Like whether you left your scent in an elevator or at the office, there is a type of blending in this fragrance that makes it ever so beautiful and ever so sparkling. And it's one of the best creations, I think, and one of the most beautiful creations from Diptyque by Olivier Pescheux that passed away and did wonderful things at Diptyque. And in fact, it kind of shows because the latest releases that don't involve him were kind of like me. But they're still around, and if you want, you should check definitely other fragrances by Olivier Pescheux for Diptyque, because they are extremely beautiful and extremely well blended, and so is Odoance. So you should definitely go and try it out. It's a beautiful blend of white flowers and juniper and patchouli. This was my review of Odoance by Diptyque. If you like my review, please subscribe and push the bell button so you'll get notified for a future video. And don't forget to like my video, it helps me a lot. I'll see you soon. Bye!